All right, everybody, and welcome in to the Brickyard 100, brought to you by Davis Brothers Roofing. Here with Sunday Night NASCAR, my name is James Driles, and with me in the booth is Josh. Josh, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to being back in the booth. Been a while since I've been up here, but we're at a really awesome historical track, Brickyard, in Indianapolis, Indiana, and doing some road courses tonight, or doing some road course racing tonight. Should be a really good one.
Definitely came through in the 11th hour to get this broadcast to you here at Indianapolis. It's been a fun one. It's so far so good with not only the cars out here on the track, but as well IRL. So really, really good race there. We won't spoil it. We don't like to do that for you, but man, quite the show that's going to lead us up to here.
Yeah. Again, no spoilers, but if what we saw, in real life, whether it be from Xfinity or the actual Cup race, I don't expect anything different. I expect these guys to put on a great show like they do week in and week out.
Definitely. And speaking of, as we have the times going across the top, only 16 drivers electing to take a lap so far. We have the, of course, DBR 100, Davis Brothers Roofing, here Sunday Night NASCAR on Sim Racing Media. We're on Facebook and YouTube over D Sports Broadcasting Network. This is a 2.39 mile Speedway, 91 degrees track temp, ambient temperature 75 degrees, with a little bit of humidity. That'll help keep it slick here in Indianapolis. So, have you had a chance to run through the road course, and what are you kind of seeing there?
I'm not a road course racer at all, so I have 8 laps, and they are all horrible laps from me. These guys, they've got their work cut out for them. This is a track that was just rescanned on iRacing, so a new scan of the track, so a little bit different layout than what we saw last year. But these guys, they're gonna have to really stay on their toes, stay stay consistent as to what they're doing, and try not to go into the grass.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the key, right? You got to try and do the best you can. And so, speaking of doing the best they can, let's go ahead and run through this grid for you. Give me one moment here. See what I can find, what I'm looking for. There we go. So, folks, we have, of course, RJ Root there starting in the pole, going to be on the inside on the right side, looking like a little bit of Watkins Glen action. Then we got Brett Gardner in the outside, row 2. Alex Murray trying to keep up with what he's been able to do so far in the 40 machine. Joe Stafford in the 88. Looks like the 88 should be the 57. Double check that, guys, as we let these paints redo. Having an absolute terror with these paints recently. Joe Stafford there we go, in the 55 now. RP Allen in 5th. Then we got Joseph Cossi there in 6th. Nicholas Breidenbach in 7th. And Leo Bonacasa there in 8th. Seba Cornez in 9th. And Josh Ward in 10th.
Starting 11th is going to be Matt White with Charles Eaton to his outside. 13th, Chad Sanner and Randy Spivey starting in 14th. John Buwalda starts in 15th tonight with Chris Claude in 16th. Austin Story will start his 23 machine in the 17th position. And Carlos Ramos will start in 18th. Alex Princeton takes the 19th starting position. Jeremy Miller starts to his outside in P20.
Yep, after P20 we got Gian Ballard there. Has moved in a little bit. not gridding so far. He's going to start from the pits. Then Ken Ron, who did the same. Emily Urias there in 23rd. And Ryan Samuelson starting at the end. Interesting move for him, electing not to take a lap, possibly a DQ there. Then we have Zinda Collins, 26. 27 is going to be Alexander Gingler. Then JC Gibson there in 28th. Marty Roberts in 29th. And Wyatt Fink there in 30th. And then a couple of trail cars there we're looking at. Just make sure everything's good there. As we get going here, we're going to have Raymond Root on the inside. Should be a really good race so far. I'm expecting all these guys to really get out, take it easy the first couple laps, as that Porsche brings them around for 41 laps here at the Brickyard.
Not a long time. About the same distance as these guys are used to running for an NIS race and half the distance of the Cup race. No cautions, of course, so you can't have mistakes at all. No time for them.
Definitely. No time for mistakes, no time. It's all about consistency with these types of things here at any road course, really, especially when you do it the way that these drivers do it. There's not going to be any cautions. The action is not going to stop. So if you wreck out and you have an issue, that's it. You've got to live with that issue for the rest of your lap. As it's just one of the interesting things about leagues and iRacing and stuff. It's just such an interesting run. As there they go, the pace car is gonna go off. Already have cars in the back. Chad Sanner seems to go around and kind of showing you about what we're going to be dealing with here as they're trying to get this sorted out.
What the hell happened to your brake?
As green flag is out, RJ Root going to have the advantage on the inside. Hopefully everybody got it behind him. Alex Murray there in third, looking to the bottom, going to try and outbrake the teammate of RJ Root. Nothing doing there, but he did get into it with the 50 of Brett Gardner. Brett Gardner's going around. Cold tires striking here. Brett Gardner goes around, letting a ton of folks get by.
And there's, the mistakes I was talking about that you can't have. Somebody else around there, that's going to be Emily Urias.
Definitely, and that's how quick it happens. So far, RJ Root, Alex Murray, Joe Stafford, pretty much the top three you would expect up here. Seba Cornez, another really strong road course racer that I want to focus on. Oh, as Nicholas Breidenbach gets in front of him, Seba makes the save of the day. Holy crud, that was close for the 14. Leo Bonacasa in the 45 also working by there.
It was a great job out of 14 to 45. Make sure not to get into that spinning car.
We're side by side here for sixth. Seba Cornez and Carlos Ramos going after it. Two wide side by side here. Leo Bonacasa and Jeremy Miller. As Jeremy's trying to work on the inside, he's up 11 positions so far. Jeremy Miller and Carlos Ramos have absolutely been flying through this thing. Ryan Samuelson's another one. And as this race just continues to heat up and continue to get on, of course, up top. Oh, 88, Joseph Cossey, one of the new ones here, having to take the long way around after biffing that one. RJ Root stepping out to a pretty good advantage. That's what he wanted to see. See them racing Joe Stafford and RP Allen.
A lot of just craziness happening already, especially with a lot of front runners. Not the mistakes they can afford to have by any means.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like we were talking about earlier here. Everything's amplified here. You're not going to get a caution to help you get your time back. You're not going to be able to correct it or make it better for the guy that you take out. It's just going to happen. Not even a stage break here in Sunday Night NASCAR. That's the way they do things. They want that consistency to show through. And right now, Austin Story and Carlos Ramos up 10 positions each. Jeremy Miller, this is the group that's kind of had to battle through together. And we'll see what they decide to do. A lot of laps left, a lot of time left in this thing. And we're going to see a lot of that throughout the field. A lot of folks kind of, you know, if it was like me out there, hey, I'm spinning out and I'm getting back out there and I'm just kind of puttering around getting some points, but not these folks. RJ Root just put down the fastest lap of the race.
And showing that he's the guy to beat tonight. RJ Root fast everywhere we go. Has a little over a second lead over Alex Murray.
Good, Nicholas.
Joseph Cossi there battling with Steve Cornez. He's trying to recover from his incident he had earlier going into the outside. Got to work on those brakes. You want to flat spot those tires. You want to get your braking done before you run into that corner, as we see him outbrake Seba Cornez for now. But tire wear is going to be another thing. You're going to make it about, what, 20 laps, maybe 15 laps before you're going to need to come in for some tires. And it's really going to come down to tire management for a lot of these mid-pack battles. A lot of these guys, Matt White, there was another one in the 48 machine who you don't want to forget about. Nicholas Breidenbach trying to recover. So, I mean, Josh, have you been working a lot? Have you? What's your strategy with these road courses, knowing your skill level and everything like that?
Just try to keep the nose clean. I'm not a good road racer at all, like I already mentioned, but I recall one race from a few years ago. I had my best road course finish ever, which was 8th place at Sonoma. Sonoma's a very technical track, and it just all came down to keep the nose clean, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, and making sure to get a lot of practice time as well. And the results showed. I was absolutely amazed with 8th place. I was not upset about that at all. And I think for these guys tonight, reducing the mistakes, if you spin once or twice, okay, it's still possible to have a good finish. But keep that nose clean, keep the damage to a minimal, if preferably none, and just go out there and try to run 41 perfect laps.
Yeah, and that's, you know, you say perfect, but you ain't lying. If you really want to get a chance to get RJ Root, who just put down another fastest lap of the race, you're going to have to go out and be perfect. You're either going to have a very, very crazy conservation strategy, or you're going to have to get in there and do just a crazy good job there. As a lot of these drivers are capable. Me, I'm the guy who I'm just trying to survive. Usually take it really, really slow. Go out, have a really good race, come out on fresh tires, and spin out. That's how I do things. But these guys, a little better at it than me. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, and you know, it kind of makes me think of a driver like Ryan Samuelson. I know he's really good at really any track you put him at in the SNN series. Road courses, he's been doing really good at road courses, and the fact that he started at the tail end of the field really surprised me tonight. That he didn't go out there, try to get a really good qualifying lap in, and you see a little bit of damage on the nose of his machine.
Yeah, a little bit, and that could have happened. You know, he was back in the back when all that stuff was going down, so it could have happened there. Could have happened a little bit throughout. We did see that he kind of went off track, as a couple other folks have as well. So there's been a lot of people going off track. A lot of people trying to find everything they can in there. But up front, a little bit of a development. Alex Murray has gained and put down his fastest lap of the race, topping RJ Root. And they've already got some lap traffic ahead of him as well.
Those two drivers just keep proving week in and week out why they are a couple of the drivers to beat on the season. And see here, wow, look at Austin Story go to the inside of Seba Cornez going into turn 1. Who's going to outbrake who? Advantage Seba so far.
Yeah, it looks like Austin Story wanted to kind of back out of that. With so much time to go, you'll hear it, we're kind of broken records here, but a lot of time to go, a lot of time for these drivers to get done. Speaking of, says I think the 82 could pull off a top 20 today. That's Alexander Gingler. Austin says go 57, 03, 23, 24, and 45. 23XI Racing. Vinny the Weasel. Tonight's going to be good. Let's go number 48. So guys in the chat, again, that's Matt White. Shout out your drivers. Keep them coming. We like to have you guys on here repping these guys. It lets us know who you want to focus on, especially in a road course where things can get a little bit spread out. RP Allen here in third, but if you shout them out, it gives me the go-ahead to, hey, focus on this guy. Focus on all these guys driving around here. That's what we like to do. 7 laps of 41. RP Allen trying to work on Joe Stafford. Joe, known as one of those guys, I mean, you've seen him. Tell us a little bit about the season so far for Joe Stafford.
Well, I'm really good friends with Joe Stafford as well. Oh, man, RP Allen locks up the brakes. Oh, man, very close to getting into Joe Stafford there. That was a great job out of RP Allen not to get into Stafford. Heavy tire lockup there. That could have been costly for both drivers. But to answer your question, I am friends with Joe, side of the series here. Hang out in Discord all the time, and he's not been very happy with his results lately. Of course, he is the defending champ of the series. He started off the season with the win at the Clash, if I'm not mistaken, and then winning the Daytona 250 to start off the season. Very first points race that this series had. And ever since then, he's ran up front, but the finishes just haven't been what Stafford has wanted. Currently P3. Hopefully for him, he can put together a really good race tonight and try to get some momentum back on his side. Go back to his winning ways that he had last season.
Yeah, definitely. Joe absolutely slayed last season, but so far it's not been a bad season for him. Just some newcomers coming in and absolutely taking over in this next-gen Cup car, namely Alex Murray. 6 wins on the season so far, possibly 7 if I'm not mistaken, from Concord, North Connecticut, so right in the heart of it there, working on some lap traffic, as that's actually going to help him. RJ Root having to run to the inside. I just happened to go there. A little bit of a battle for the lead. RJ Root and Alex Murray, teammates at Field Filler Racing here. Man, lap traffic going to play a bigger part than we thought. So RJ Root has a rearview mirror full.
And I believe Alex Murray backed out of that. He thought better of it, backed out of it. It was a smart move. He's right there with RJ Root anyway. Wasn't any reason to keep his car there where could have damaged not 1, not 2, but 3 cars in this race.
Definitely, as we see, he's kind of putting the pressure on the 8, and did I see a little bit of wiggle there from Raymond Root? That looked like it was almost bad for him, but he was able to gather it up. But now everybody's kind of working on their own stuff, working around on trying to get some lap times, get some consistent laps like we talked about. Heading over to, let's talk about the 48. Matt White. Matt hoping to put down a really good race here, currently sitting in 13th. Smartsville, Minnesota. As he's up there, he's got the 5 in front of him, so actually a little bit, maybe that's 45. Leo Bonacasa battling with him. Leo, one of those that always comes through on the road courses, always gets down that 23XI machine, getting a really good run. See all of them rolling Toyotas.
Yeah, Leo, he's a pretty good racer himself. Just tries to, he doesn't overdrive his car, if that makes sense. If he's got a 10th place car, he's not going to try to run it in 5th place. But he takes what he can get. He's a smart guy, very clean driver, and right now trying to get around a couple of lap cars.
Definitely. We did have a pass for 7th. Austin Story passing Civic Cornez. Let's go ahead and take a look at that replay. Kind of see what it takes to set up a pass here. As Seba actually locks him up, that gives the 23 machine the ability to get by. And that's really the key to road course racing. If you ask anybody who knows what they're doing, they'll say, you know, this isn't oval. You're not really as attacking. The real thing is kind of waiting for the guy in front of you to make a mistake. That's the key. Waiting for somebody like, there we go, we just saw the 82 machine, I believe is a lap down. Alexander Gingler. Kind of lock him up there in the Mr. Plow Toyota. But that's really what you're waiting for. You're waiting for these guys to
I'll try to stop Ryan.
make a mistake.
Nah, there's nothing you can do. There's just lots of talent.
As RJ
One thing
Rude-
that
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just passed.
I was gonna say, one thing that I absolutely love seeing out of these cars, the tire glow. And
A little bit of an issue there with Jason Gibbs and Ryan Samuelson. Take a look.
See, I'm gonna be on your inside.
Oh. Looks like Ryan gets sideways and there's really not much he could have done about that. Oh, and then just on the inside of the 58. Unfortunate, he didn't know he was there, so that's what that was. Anyways, what were you saying, sir? I gotcha. Well, still following around RJ Root, who has the lead so far. Alex Murray in 2nd place, about a second back. Joe Stafford not too far behind. He is in 3rd, about 8 seconds back. RP Allen there in 4th. Beautiful 03 machine. Joseph Cossey there in the 88, trying to get back from his earlier issue as he's battling with RP Allen. The closest battle on the track is the 88, holding it down as light as possible. See the lap car there on the inside. Lap cars coming into play. A lot more than I would have expected, Josh. This PC just froze, that's what we got. No worries. So lap cars definitely coming into play as the 03 and Joseph Cossey battling it out. 03 trying to take the position back. That's RP Allen. As the 63 just does everything he can to get out of the way. That's Wyatt Fink. And that was just him getting out of the way as a courtesy. That wasn't him overdriving that car. So kudos to Wyatt for that. We get this thing rocked back under control. Let's go ahead and go to an ad break. We're going to go side by side. Appreciate the heck out of you for sticking around as we try and pay the bills here at Sim Racing Media at the DBR 100 at the Brickyard.
There's a new approach to lawn care, Preen 1 Lawn Care. Preen 1 does away with the hassle of multiple bags of different... There's a new approach to lawn care, Preen 1 Lawn Care. Preen 1 does away with the hassle of multiple bags of different products. It has everything you need for a beautiful lawn in one bag. And all it takes is one application. For season-long weed control and feeding, apply the granules when the lawn is wet and weeds are actively growing. It blocks crabgrass all season. It prevents crabgrass seeds from growing. It kills the seedlings too, even when applied 4 weeks after they sprout. It's your best defense against tough weeds like dandelion, chickweed, henbit, and hundreds more. Plus, its slow-release formula feeds the lawn evenly for months to build stronger roots for maximum heat and drought resistance. There's a new approach to lawn care, Preen 1 Lawn Care.
Davis Brothers has been providing homeowners and businesses with exceptional roofing services since 1983. From repairing roofs on small homes to installing new roofs on large commercial retailers, no job is too big or too small. Your home is an important part of your life, and your roof is an essential part of your home. We understand that. Whether you're inspecting, repairing, or replacing your roof, we'll treat your home like it's our very own. Low slope, steep slope, big or small, it doesn't matter, we do them all. And remember, we have the capabilities and the manpower to take on any size job. When it comes to your roof, it's important to be proactive. Choose an experienced roofer you can trust. At Davis Brothers Roofing, we are your experienced roofer. Contact us today for a consultation and let us earn your trust.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
All right, we are back here. Nothing much has changed here, folks. RJ Root still leading the way. Biggest pass that we missed was Brett Gardner passing Joseph Posse, getting his position back as we see him still battling. Let's take a look at that. 88 having issues again, going off course. Maybe pushing a little bit too hard there so far. Still waiting for... There you go, RP Allen trying to get back there. Here's a little bit of a battle with 17 of Chad Sanner working into turn one. Chad, another driver who has really came into his own here in this league. I've been watching it for a long time, broadcasting it for about 2 years now. 2 full seasons, and Chad, one of the OGs here in 17th position. Another one that I always like to shout out, Nicholas Breidenbach. We saw him have his issue on the restart in that 24 GM machine. Able to kind of get back to it, running down some pretty consistently fast times. Now up to 8th in the top 10. Love to see that. Of course, then there's Jeremy Miller there in 10th.
Thank you, Wyatt.
One of the newer faces in the league. Jeremy Miller having a pretty good showing. As we take a look here at the points, want to kind of tell you guys who is leading so far after Pocono with the season standings. Alex Murray, of course, is in the lead. He's got 8 wins on the season. Always worth checking in on him. In second, of course, RJ Root with 4 wins. And then Josh Ward with 1 win. So if we run through here, we've actually got Joseph Stafford not having a really good point season, but so far currently in the second 2-win column. He's going to be okay. Jeremy Miller, the guy I talked about earlier, he is up to 2 wins as well. And of course, we already talked about Josh Ward, there he is, there in 18th. He's got a win. He's locked in. Ryan Samuelson's got a win. He has put it on the hauler. He is gone. Charles Eaton, another one. And these are the guys that can kind of just come in here and take it easy. Some of them not even showing up to the road course. Don't blame them. Matt White has a win. Take a look at that. In the 48 machine. Already had a shout out for him in the chat. And then Brett Gardner. He's the last one. He's only got 1 race in, though, so he has to be in the top 30 to be counted, so we might have an open spot. But with those 8 winners, that leaves only 8 other positions by points to come in here, and so far leading the points battle is Seba Cornez with 464 points. Close behind him, Randy Spivey. So all of these battles matter, especially seeing how you don't know if you're ever going to get the opportunity to get a win in this league anymore, with folks like Alex Murray and Raymond Root, Joe Stafford, these top 3 getting in here as Brett Gardner makes the pass on Joe Stafford. But you just never know in leagues like this what they're going to do. Of course, Murray getting another shout out. But folks, again, this is a little bit of an issue for Joe Stafford. I actually found that on my darn replay. What was going on with Stafford? Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, the 33 lap car Ken Ron gets in front of Stafford, and Brett Gardner is going to take that advantage in that Mountain Dew heat machine and get rolling. That's how quick it happens, ladies and gentlemen. And now he's got to worry about another lap car behind him, the 19 of Alex Princeton, trying to get some of his positions back.
Alex Brinson actually just allowed Joe to get by, so Brinson's not going to pressure Stafford at all. Stafford still holding on, 4th place.
Yeah, definitely holding on, and like we talked about earlier, he's got the win. He can afford to come out here and just drive the wheels off this thing, and so can our top 2 contenders of RJ Root and Ryan Samuelson. I'm sorry, that's what I'm used to saying last year. But Raymond Root and Alex Murray, those guys can really take off. But look at JC Gibson. JC had a little bit of an issue earlier, but now he's got that 27 up 12 positions there in 16.
Doing a pretty good job.
Definitely from Pensacola, I believe that's Florida, but I don't like to assume. Raymond Root and Alex Murray now coming up on a lap car, the 49. That is Zendel Collins. getting the move over flag.
Thank you, Zeke.
And now's when they're going to get into a bunch of folks. Let's take a look at the position map here and show you guys kind of what the haps are. It'll come up here. Of course, it's not going to corroborate. That's okay. So, Josh, what have you been looking at? What are you seeing to finish this thing out as we have 23 laps to go?
Well, Alex Murray and Raymond Root, of course, still running 1-2. Alex Murray been right there with Raymond Root. Not been able to get by, though. These drivers are going to have to start thinking about when they're going to pit. Coming pretty soon. And will Alex Murray be able to get an undercut over Raymond Root?
Yeah, an interesting point on the undercut. Brett Gardner just put down the fastest lap in the sim. So the fastest lap on this server, 127.69, which is about 0.3 faster. So tires do not seem to be a problem here. We've got RJ Root, who's only about half a second off of his fastest time. Alex Murray is about a second. But folks are putting down their best races of the night here as it gets a little bit lower here. Let me see. Might have a explanation for that. Let's see what time it is right now. About 3:40 in the sim. So it's not cooling down. But definitely these folks finding something out there as I'm seeing best laps being put down all throughout the server.
So I've noticed, and we could go back to Sonoma in earlier this season. iRacing had an update of that week, and they updated a lot of the ways that the Cup car handles. And it seems like ever since that update, every time we've come to road courses, tires haven't had a big fall off like what they would have beforehand. So these road courses, drivers can get away with taking no tires and fuel only. And I wonder how many people or drivers we're going to see try that tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of another driver just put down his fastest lap, Chris Claude. His fastest lap of the race just put down. He is the league owner. So appreciate Chris here. And I'm glad to be back. I took a little break from SNN, but I'm glad to be here. Glad to get these guys out. Seba Cornez just put down the fastest lap. But I would like to get back in the swing of getting the sponsors out there, the guys that support this league. Of course, first of all, Davis Brothers Roofing, appreciate them. If you're looking for residential or commercial roofing there in the greater Tennessee area, they are the place to go. Holler at them, give them a good old Google, they're worth it. It's that time of year. Davis Brothers Roofing, appreciate your support. Of course, Buttkicker, if you don't have a Buttkicker and you're racing, I don't know what you're doing, man, because that Buttkicker, have you been able to try one out, Josh?
I have not, but I hear about them all the time, and I really want to try it.
Yeah, the Buttkicker, and the reason I like what Buttkicker does, they support all these leagues out here, giving them some extra incentives, some drivers to get out there and run, as the 50's working on a lap car. That's the 30 of Jeremy Miller trying to keep his lap for whatever reason. Racing the 50 really hard, opening a gap up to 8 seconds. That has got to be frustrating for the 50 machine. It's like something probably happened there. I'm not sure what. Looked like Gardner may have went off. Alex Murray, that's what happened. Alex Murray came down pit road trying the short bit like we talked about. Alex Murray came down pit road lap 21, so he's going to be about 49 seconds short. Looks like he just took fuel only, possibly right sides or lefts, probably lefts, because there's going to be 4 more lefts than rights here at this track. So coming out here, it looks like nobody's taking tires. Nobody's really worried about it. RJ Root going to come down pit road now. As Brett Gardner trying to take as much advantage as he can, he's going to come down. Joe Stafford as well. So now we're getting into the strategy of it, folks. Everybody trying to come down this road here at the Indianapolis 100, the DBR 100 at the Brickyard. But as I was saying about these butt kickers, what they can do, especially if you're getting some tire wear, they kind of tell you, hey, this is what I've got going on. Whenever you can feel when the car is leaving the track because of that vibration that the butt kicker gives you. And if you're out here and you're not playing iRacing, you're not an iRacer, that's fine. Put this thing under your couch and watch an action movie. It completely changes the game. It's absolutely fantastic. But Alex Murray going to inherit the lead here. As Raymond Root comes out, it's going to be a drag race. Alex Murray flies by Raymond Root with the undercut. Wow.
Oh, man. Not much of a difference.
Not much at all, as that was an absolutely fantastic turn. Everybody that's watching, appreciate the heck out of you. You're watching the battle for the lead here at the DBR 100 at the Brickyard Sunday night NASCAR. Alex Murray trying to take on Raymond Root. A lot of viewers in here wondering what's bringing you here. Let me know in the chat. If you're coming in off the street, if you're here to watch a specific driver. Got a couple more shout outs there. Of course, Matt White coming down pit road.
Wow. I don't know if you saw that there, James, but RJ Root locked up the tires. I'm not sure what turn number that was, but almost got into the back of Alex Murray.
Let's see if we can find it here. Here they are, RJ Root coming in really hard. Oh, baby girl, that's that might have been a tap. That might have been a little tippy tap on the teammates, the 8 and the 40. A little bit of a bump draft going into that turn. But gonna recover pretty well. Now we got lap cars in the way. That is going to be the 20 of Brian Alexander. He's just gonna get out of the way. But then we got a little bit harder lap car to pass here. The 48 of Matt White, who is in the lucky dog position if there was going to be cautions. So a little bit faster here. He's actually on par with these guys as fastest times. So this is going to be a harder pass, and that's what's going to start happening. Every driver that they catch on these lap cars are going to be harder and harder to pass just because of how fast they are. And Alex Murray actually having a harder time passing folks than RJ Root did. So definitely seeing something here as Matt White doing everything he can just to stay in front of these guys up there racing with them. There he goes. He's going to let him by right as RJ Root decides to take a different angle. Shenanigans in the background, Blair.
RJ Root goes to the outside, not able to make a stick. Alex Murray still the leader and now blocking all the way down the track.
Yeah, big heavy block there by Alex Murray. He's got to do what he's got to do, but Brett Gardner, he's on the way. Brett wasn't even in the conversation, but after a fantastic pit time and some fast moves in the end, Brett is a second and a half back to Raymond Root and Alex Murray. So if these guys weren't watching him, that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Jeez Louise, he is flying through this course like a man on a mission, hoping that up front Alex Murray and RJ Root get into each other for something to happen as they're battling it out. But there you go, Brett Gardner now in the conversation.
I don't know who's on Brett Gardner's pit crew, but I want them as my pit crew members. A lot faster than Raymond Root and Alex Murray.
Yeah, about 2 seconds. As he is there. Oh, almost messes it up. Maybe a little overcommittal there by Gardner. Almost gets into the lap car. That's going to slow him down. RP Allen, the 03, got the shout out in the Discord. I did see that. Going off pace there a little bit. Currently in 7th. Ooh-wee. Brett Gardner. Got to try not to overdrive that thing. Folks, this is kind of what we're seeing. Let's go take a look at, let's do a quick rundown here. Of course, we got Alex Murray there in first. RJ Root not too far behind.
Appreciate that.
Brett Gardner in third, trying to catch up. Joe Stafford, another race winner. Joseph Cossey there in the 88 machine. Currently in 5th. Austin Story working on the lap car, the 33. Absolutely using him up there.
Great drive by Austin Story.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating part of this thing, right? You got to be able to. Is that Joe Stafford? No, Joe's not 51. But you got to be really careful about how you pass, especially in road, because you never know when somebody's going to lose it here. A lot of these guys try and practice as much as they can, but it's tough. These are tough road courses. Next-gen cars make it a little bit easier, a little bit better downforce, a little bit better built for it. But definitely got to keep an eye out. RP Allen back there in the 03 machine sitting in 7th. Nicholas Breidenbach making a good recovery. He's there in 8th. Jeremy Miller in 9th. Beautiful pink paint job. Going to green like that. Stevie Cornez in the 14 machine. Currently sitting in the top 10. Carlos Ramos, naval officer living the dream. In the 97 machine, currently in 11th. Leo Bonacasa, 12th. Charles Eaton there in 13th. And we are keeping an eye on the gaps up here, folks. RJ Root currently battling Brett Gardner. This is your battle for second, then we'll get back to it. RJ has the advantage on the inside, but loses it. Gets out broke by Gardner. So now we have a new second place finisher. Second change in the top 3 we've had since this thing started. RJ Root loses it. Overcommits and gets in the grass. Now Joe Stafford has the advantage. 12 seconds back. We'll see if RJ can get back from that. Wow, folks. A non-characteristic mistake from the 8 machine is going to put him in that gravel. Luckily, he was able to not get stuck. Now Brett Gardner is going to put another one down. He's looking for Alex Murray. Were we expecting that?
I definitely wasn't.
Ooh, absolutely wild turn of events here, folks. Brett Gardner now within spitting distance of the 50. That's the 75 Charles Eaton going off track. Not a part of this. But getting back into it, I believe we're on Matt White. He's in 14th. Going to give these guys a little bit more time of day here. Chad Stanner in the Bass Pro Shop tracker machine there in the 59. Currently in 15th. 16th, Alan Princeton. the best friends Chevrolet. JC Gibson there in 17th, up 11 positions, so having a good points day so far. Tied for the hardest charger with Austin Story. John Bawalda there. Josh Ward in 19th. Randy Spivey in the 22 machine. Chris Claude, 10 machine. Glenn Bullard, Bullard probably. 23rd, Wyatt Fink. He's got the meters going by. He's going to give him the go ahead. Ryan Alexander, 24th. 25th is Zindala Collins. 26th, Ken Ron. 27th, Alexander Gingler. Ryan Samuelson, Marty Roberts, and Emily Urias on the hauler. So here's your battle for the lead, folks. Brett Gardner trying to catch up to Alex Murray. Let's look at our lap time comparisons of these folks. A little bit of a bumper tap there. So it's heating up. 12 laps to go here, folks, in the Davis Brothers Roofing 100 here at the Brickyard in Indianapolis.
This is really shaping up to be a great finish. You know, a lot of times, you know, you get to road races on iRacing, and it just seems like the driver that starts on the pole usually just never looks back, and nobody really gets a chance to race with them. But here in SNN, that's not the case at all.
You got the impact going in.
Yeah, definitely is there. Coming up on Alexander Gingler. He's going to let everybody go by. Class act there, trying not to involve in anybody's race.
Thank you.
Oh, trouble in front of the leaders. Leo Bonacasa goes off. Now they're going to have to split the middle. The 22 doing the right thing. That's Randy Spivey going down the access road. Hey, this bud's for you, Randy Spivey. He did not have to do that, possibly giving up spots of his own coming down pit road. Hey, Randy Spivey, man, let's get a hand in the chat for Randy Spivey. He just went off the race down pit road as to not mess up this battle for first. Let's take a look at that. Just to get you guys going here.
Overcooked it, trying to correct it.
Because we gotta let these guys know when they do something right, because that was absolutely the right thing to do at his own cost. There, as we see, here's the issue. See, the 45 leaders are behind him. Randy Spivey does not want to get involved at all, just decides to duck it down pit road and let the leaders go in front of him. Class act. What do you say, Josh?
Yeah, it is so hard to do things like that, but he did the right thing, and yeah, great job out of the awareness out of Spivey to realize what was going on and making the right move.
Another battle here. Oh, a little bit of a slide job and a rebuttal by Joe Stafford. Joseph Cossey having a really good race in the 88 machine. He's been back a couple spots, up a couple spots, having a little bit of committal issues there. Take a look at that replay from the view of Joseph Cossey. Just overcooks it. Joe Stafford says, thank you, I'll take that right back. There for fourth. That's the battle for fourth. A little bit of a battle here. Josh Ward, this is a battle for position. John S. Bawalda the third. in the 51 machine. And we saw
Major.
it again.
Major tire lock up there.
He might, he's going to have to get into it with the 14 Seba Cornez. There we go again. It seems like once the drivers get close to each other, you know, this late in the stage in the race, you're not really battling for position, but once we see it, we see a lot of issues with overcommitting to turns, especially that turn 1, and kind of losing all the momentum that you've gained by going off track. And that's kind of the tail of the tape here, folks. If you're gonna race these cars, you've got to take your opportunities when they come. You don't want to force opportunities with 9 laps left to go, especially if you're like Joseph Kossi, who has been attacking. He's been able to be quick. So you really got to let those passes present themselves. People are going to make mistakes. You put the pressure on, but don't overcommit on these battles. If you're trying to get into iRacing and learning this road course racing, that's really the big thing. Is you got to be careful. Let your passes develop.
Yeah, road racing, there are no cautions. Unless if you have admin thrown cautions, which are pretty rare. Some series do them. This one here does not. So, you know, you're not just racing until a caution could come out. You're racing until the end. You want to take care of your car. You want to take care of your tires. And like you said, let them come to you. Run your race. Try to make no mistakes. And take what you can get.
Definitely. And it's absolutely crucial here. It's absolutely something that you have to... You know, you have to get better at it. You have to learn as it comes out, as these things happen. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing them do a really good job of that overall, especially Brett Gardner. Look at Brett Gardner over here trying to work on Alex Murray. That's how you do it. He lets the 40 make his mistake. Now going to undercut here on side by side for the lead. He does not want to be caught on that outside line. Maybe a little bit of help here, but wow, that's how you do it, folks. And that's going to pay off. Those little spots where he kind of gives and takes, they're going to pay off. He's racing him like he wants to be raced, not really throwing it in there. And just as I spoke, Joseph Kossi going to make it in for the battle for 4th. Lets it develop and gets going. Man, we got a huge finish here, folks. I'm going to go ahead and take it to breaks one more time. Go ahead and stick around, as we've got just a one ad break here. We're going to go side by side.
Stay right here, Stefan.
Davis Brothers has been providing homeowners and businesses with exceptional roofing services since 1983. From repairing roofs on small homes to installing new roofs on large commercial retailers, no job is too big or too small. Your home is an important part of your life, and your roof is an essential part of your home. We understand that. Whether you're inspecting, repairing, or replacing your roof, we'll treat your home like it's our very own. Low slope, steep slope, big or small, it doesn't matter. We do them all. And remember, we have the capabilities and the manpower to take on any size job. When it comes to your roof, it's important to be proactive. Choose an experienced roofer you can trust. At Davis Brothers Roofing, we are your experienced roofer. Contact us today for a consultation and let us earn your trust.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. Brett Gardner has taken the lead and just put down the fastest lap of the race. Let's take a look at that replay here. One moment. As you were watching that as well.
You gotta work on getting by people without actually hitting the man.
So let's see that battle. This is what we were talking about. This happened at lap 31. Or 33, I'm sorry. Alex Murray just biffs it, goes off track, and Brett Gardner's gone. Then in the effort to try and get back there as soon as possible, see here in turn 1, I think he goes off one more time.
And I started to mention earlier, it was when I kind of disappeared for a moment. But I started to mention, if you really pay attention, you will see a lot of glow in the tires, the front tires, from the brakes. And when Gardner was able to get by Murray, there was a lot of glow in Murray's right front tire. There was glow in Gardner's as well, but I noticed it was pretty bright from that 40 machine, and you saw him just lock up the tire and drive off into the grass a little bit, and that allowed Gardner to get by.
Yeah, and this is something, and you guys are going to learn something here. Going to go off on a tangent as we watch. Let's take a look at somebody we had shout out, Matt White. We had him shout out in the chat. Let's watch him go around a little bit. But in these machines, these independent suspensions, it's a little bit different. It's all the same, but these are more modeled after those cars. You see that bright red glow of those huge calipers. They cool down a lot quicker than the previous gen car because they're slotted. They're those open wheels. I know everybody's been talking on them, but that's one of the huge benefits that these one lug large rim tires have. They can cool down those brakes a lot quicker. But if you're on those brakes and they get hard, or they get red hot, what happens is you get brake fade. You Google it, brake fade. Dog is right underneath my laptop or my computer there. Brake fade is where the tires get so hot and those brake pads and brake calipers get so hot they lose their efficiency. That friction's not good for them, and you start having to brake a little bit harder. And once it catches, that's what we saw with Alex Murray. Locked him up, having to adjust to that brake fade, and it's going to hurt you. So Gardner now just has to kind of wait it out. He's got a lap car in between himself and Alex Murray. So he's just going to try and roll here with 4 laps left to go at the Davis Brothers Roofing 100. But that's another thing you have to worry about here at these road courses. You've got to be careful about how you apply your brakes, how hard you apply them, whether you let them heat up or not. All of these things matter, and that's the thing that's going through all of these drivers' minds here in the final closing laps here at Indianapolis.
Yeah, and oh man, Gardner
goes off. What was going on there? Alex Murray gets it back with 4 to go. 14 goes out in front of him. He's going to have contact. Drama.
I don't even know. I was literally just about to say,
Thank you, dude.
for Gardner, you can't afford to have any mistakes now. And as soon as I start to open up my mouth to say that,
I figured you had to slow down.
he made a mistake.
Yeah, let's go back and see what happened here on lap 38. Gardner trying to work through some lap traffic. That's the 22 of Randy Spivey. Randy gets out of the way again. And then coming into a really tough negative turn, just cooks it, overcooks it, and gives Alex Murray the opportunity to get by. Luckily, he was able to save it. And then Alex Murray has his own issue to deal with. The 14 just gets bumped out of the way. And just like that, the race has changed. Alex Murray gets a little bit of a good luck, but now Brett Gardner has a chip on his shoulder. He's going to do everything he can to get back up there with 3 laps to go and work on Alex Murray. Hopefully Alex doesn't make the same mistake. You know, he's going to be driving a defensive line. He's going to let Brett get to his inside here, and it's a drag race to get to the inside coming into the track, the oval portion. It's going to be interesting coming into turn 1. Gardner has the inside. A bit of side draft there. Go ahead.
Gardner is way down the racetrack. This is going to be interesting getting into 1. Is he able to make it? He is. Interesting line there.
Ooh, just enough. Brett Gardner able to take away the first position. The reason we're focused on this, folks, this is the only battle for position going on the track right now. Is your leaders. I know I always hear it. Oh, I can already hear it in the DM. These guys always focusing on the leaders, but here at the road course, this is all that's going on for position right now. Is Brett Gardner and Alex Murray working past lap traffic, trying to carve that up. Alex has to make the advantage here. See them bright red front brakes. As Gardner's just going to have to run defensively.
Neither one of these guys can afford a mistake now. This is right at the end of things.
2 laps to go as they head into turn 1. Alex Murray, Brett Gardner, got the 59, I believe that's Chad Sanner. Trying to stay out of it.
For Gardner, he got a little bit of a break there because, yeah, that car there, Chad Sanner, upset the exit for Murray just a little bit.
That's going to give us the white flag. 1 to go here. Brett Gardner, Alex Murray. They've got to keep it clean. Everyone worrying about every single position. Alex Murray knows he's got about 12 seconds back to RJ Root, so he can really attack here and try and get the W and take that away from Brett Gardner, who Brett, I believe, is searching for his first win of the season.
Gardner is pulling out to a few car lengths. What he needs to do is make sure that coming into that corner where we've seen a lot of drivers have mistakes, he needs to make sure that he doesn't do exactly what he did last time. It's coming right here, the right-hander, just ahead of this.
Onto the oval portion, coming in the last turn. Last hard turn until we get to the end here. Alex Murray trying to do everything he can to get to the inside. See if he's going to be able to cross him up here. See if we can get a drag race. Gardner applies the throttle correctly, gets it out there. Alex Murray's not going to be able to do anything about it. Checkered flag goes to Brett Gardner. Alex Murray there in second. What a finish, what a battle, but it's not over for everybody. RJ Root going to try and make it through. Going to take third. Joseph Cossey, a very hard-fought fourth-place finish for him. Joe Stafford coming across, and then the final, nope, no battle there. So Brett Gardner, checkered flag is out. It is official. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Gardner, your winner here at the DBR 100 at the Brickyard.
I just want to know in case I run that corner.
Ooh-wee.
That was a great finish.
Yeah, Josh, I really appreciate
Great
that.
driving out of Brett Gardner
I didn't even know
and
you were doing
Alex Murray, keeping it clean.
that. Oh, I saw Brett. I didn't know you were behind him.
There it is. Earned
Well,
it.
either way, I appreciate it.
Earned the burn down. We're going to see here. Finishing it out, letting everybody kind of get their finish in. The victory lap by Brett Gardner.
And went into the grass.
Here, I'm gonna meet you on the front straight. We can go through it, and I'll show it
Going around.
on a replay and see me do it.
If I hadn't screwed up there, Alex.
Man, what a finish as we breathe here for the Davis Brothers Roofing 100. Brought to you, of course, by Davis Brothers Roofing, Buttkicker, Preen Lawn Care, Napa Auto Parts. Didn't get to mention their commercial. I do apologize to Napa. Earning the burn. Love to see it. Let's get ahead and go ahead and talk to Brett Gardner from Furta Motorsports. Brett, it's James and Josh in the booth. Man, burning it down. You earned it. Congratulations on the dub.
Thank you.
So I know it was hard fought there. You waited for your opportunity to pass about lap 31. It came, and then we overcooked it. Tell us what was going on there.
Yeah, when I was going around the lap traffic coming onto the banking, I hit it differently than how I usually intend to, and I could not get the brakes under control going up there. I was like, great, cool. I got all the way back up here and threw it all away. So that was a bit nerve-wracking right there.
Definitely. From the restart, started on the outside, went back to third or fourth. What were you thinking as you were about 10 seconds back from the leaders, and then you came down pit road and it all changed?
Yeah, the whole race right there was kind of a great, I got to work super hard for this now, because I came out of turn 2 at the very start of the race and I just fat-footed it. I had never done that before in practice, and I did it right there, and I was like, cool, wonderful. So it became a first to last to first challenge, kind of, sort of. So yeah, I was kind of making my progress getting on the leaders or anyone I could, trying to make any pass as smoothly and as out of the way as possible for anyone else. And then I noticed when I went into the pits, right, I think I had like a 9 or 10 second gap on them. I'd closed down from a good bit and managed to come out like 5 seconds behind. So I guess I'm really glad I practiced my pit stops before the race.
Definitely. All important there. And of course, we're watching the final pass for position as Alex Murray kind of kicks it up there, and you take that pass. Going into that nasty turn 1, you'd raced Alex clean the entire time you were behind him. Were you hoping that was going to kind of be remembered on that last lap?
Oh, yeah, sure. I didn't think that there was going to be any funny business going on. He poked his nose in there in turn, I think it was 4, and I should have seen it coming, but I totally just kind of blanked on it and thought, yeah, I got it, and then he was there. So, but no, he's clean from the races I've had with him, so I didn't really have any worries that I was going to get totally dumped or anything. If anything like that would have happened, purely unintentional, just hard racing.
Definitely. Well, Brett, you got your second win of the season here on the Indy Road Course. Who you want to shout out? Who do you want to thank getting you up here in the gold position there?
Shout out to I think I was subbing in for Joe Gibbs Racing with Chris Claude tonight, so I guess shout out to him. Should probably make sure on that, but I'm pretty sure of that. So yeah, shout out to him.
Definitely. Well, Brett, we appreciate you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week.
Thank you.
All right, next, the second place finisher, Alex Murray. Alex, I know usually second place is an awesome finish, but this one's got a sting.
No, it doesn't sting at all, man. Brett was fast all night, and I tried. We both had a couple of moving chicanes we had to miss, and I made a mistake getting into, I believe it was 11 or 12, and locked up the brakes, and then he did it at one point, and I just kind of came back around to where we were fighting for the win on the last lap, and my move almost worked, but I didn't want to do it dirty. I wanted to to scare him a little bit at the apex and see if he would move up a bit, give me a lane. But he held strong and came home second. So good points day for us. And Brett drove a phenomenal race after spinning on lap 1. So I mean, he had to earn that one a lot more than I did.
Definitely, and we just saw that, and then the battle, like you said, where Brett kind of went wide there for a little bit. Did that contact with the lap car affect you at all on that, or was it just a little bit of bump and run there on these composite bodies?
No, I don't think it affected us at all. I think, I think that some people just need to be a bit more aware of what's coming behind them. Not that Saba did anything wrong. He made an honest mistake in front of us there and spun, but in general, just people need to keep their eyes open a bit more and look in their mirror when they're on a straightaway and look at their relative and see what's coming behind them, because had they done that, Brett probably would have pulled away and got to about 4 seconds on me. But with the help of a couple lap cars, I got back to him, got back by him, and still couldn't hold him off. So he definitely earned that one. He worked hard for it. I wasn't gonna let him have it easy. That's for sure.
Definitely, never. So tell us, Alex, who you got on the car. I've got a blank canvas in front of me, but who you want to shout out? Who got you here?
Racing Rehab, BD Technology Group, GM, obviously. This Camaro was fast tonight. Awards, Shamrock Auto Care, HyperX, my girlfriend. She's always supporting me. She's texting me right now, like, someone in the YouTube chat said, "Woohoo, Murray didn't win." And I'm like, just let it go. I win every week. Like,
yeah, 8 wins.
like
I think you can give up a couple races.
Like that was honestly the most fun race I've had in a long time there. Just trying to hold off Brett, trying to catch RJ, and then racing Brett really hard on the last 2 laps there. I'll take a second any day if we're doing that. So really, really proud of everybody at Prodigy Esports, Frontline Esports for getting this set up where it is right now, and hopefully next week at Michigan we can do the same thing, but not come up one spot short next time.
Yeah, definitely. And top threes are always good. I think I talk to you every week. Somebody up here does, but again, man, hopefully we will talk to you again next week.
I hope so. See you guys. Thank you.
Next, Josh, I believe you have RJ Root. This one's on you.
Hey, RJ, third place finish. Looked a little rough there at the end, but still managed to hold on for third place. How'd you get it done?
Well, at the beginning of the race, just running in the lead, I wasn't pushing too hard and just made a mistake right before I went into the pits, which gave up the lead, and then I had to push while I was in second place and started overdriving the corners, driving over my head, and managed to accumulate 9 X's in the second half of the race. So, kind of kicking myself in the butt for that, but it was a fun race.
Definitely had a great car to start off with, but going back, James and I, we were talking about a little bit of the brake fade and the glow in the tires. Obviously, you couldn't see the glow from your seat, but how much was that brake fade from a driver's perspective really affecting how the car handled throughout the race?
The brake fade didn't show too much. Like, you could feel a little bit of it. It would basically just back up your braking point about 50 feet, but I mean, really, it didn't play too much of a factor in my opinion. Just they would kind of lock a little bit when you wouldn't expect it to, and
well, only a couple races left in the regular season. Which one you got really circled on that calendar that you're looking forward to getting to before playoffs actually start?
I don't think that there's a track that isn't circled for a win. So we're feeling pretty good.
All right, well, before I let you go, who gets it done? for you behind that 8 machine?
Got Magic on the hood, Prodigy Esports, Frontline Esports. Some dude, I forget his name, that gave me a setup just so that I could learn his brakes. That dude was awesome. Don't remember your name, but if he watches the broadcast, he'll know who he is. Racing Rehab, GT Omega, and that's about it.
All right, congrats on another podium, and we'll see you next week at Michigan.
Thank you.
All right, so there you have it, Josh. Next week at Michigan, we got a pretty good one coming up for you. I know Michigan's one that I always have circled. A kind of odd 2-mile track, but I love it. But we'll go ahead and run through your grid, or I'm sorry, your results here. These are your official results for the time being. I don't think NASCAR is going to find anything wrong with Gardner's machine. Let's get to the right thing here. There we go. As, of course, in first place going to be Brett Gardner. Then we got Field Filler Racing taking second and third, Alex Murray and Raymond Root. Fourth is going to be Joseph Casey with Frontline Esports. Then we have Joe Stafford and Austin Story in sixth, up 11 positions from the grid. And Nicholas Breidenbach connecting back to seventh after some issues he had going on. RP Allen there in eighth, Seba Cornez in ninth, and Carlos Ramos there in 10th. Leo Bonacasa is going to come out in 11th, and Charles Eaton in 12th. Matt White 13th, 14th Alex Princeton, 15th is going to be Josh Ward. Then we got Chad Sanner in 16th, a couple laps down. John S. Bulwalda, Jack Dell Motorsports, check him out on YouTube. JC Gibson 18th position, Randy Spivey 19th, Chris Claude there in 20th, Glenn Ballard 21st, Bryson Alexander 22nd, Zinda Collins there in 23rd, Ken Ron 24th, Alexander Gingler 25th, Wright Fink about 10 laps down there in 26th, Jeremy Miller 27th, Ryan Samuelson putting it on the hauler after his issues early, Marty Roberts as well, and Emily Urias getting the 30th position scored. Josh, there you have it. What a finish here. You guys just saw it. Appreciate everybody. Be sure to hit that like, share button, all that good stuff. Get this out in front of as many people as possible. Josh, looking forward to working with you next week. And as always, folks, we'll see you next week.